Welcome back to the Bank On It podcast, brought to you as always by the Appalachian Newspapers, and I'm joined with regional sports editor Randy White, Cory Vance, and special guest Josh Blankenship, who covers sports in Mingo County for the Appalachian Newspapers. Really quickly, we want to say thank you to our sponsors, Dr. Shane Hensley. Every athlete knows a good smile builds confidence. Dr. Shane Hensley at Downtown Dental in Pikeville can help build that confidence. Visit Dr. Hensley at 419 Town Mountain Road or call 433-1488 and score the perfect smile. Dr. Hensley performs all dental work and most insurance is accepted.
Also, if you're looking for quality care for your loved ones, look no further than Presbyterian Homes of Cedar Creek and Good Shepherd of Phelps. Both facilities treat your loved ones with care and respect. They offer therapy, daily activities, exquisite cuisine, and home-like settings to make your family members feel at home. Call to schedule an appointment today. At Cedar Creek, call Jessica Thacker at 432-8243, and at Good Shepherd, call 456-8725. Caring for your loved ones is what we do best.
And thank you, as always, to City Tire and Auto. It has moved. It's at their new location at 110 Freddie Lane, right off the South Mayo Trail, directly across from Pikeville Floral. Call them today at 606-437-3005. And again, we're now joined by our special guest. He's over here to tell us a little bit about the boys and girls high school basketball action in Mingo County.
Hey guys, appreciate y'all having me.
Yeah, man.
As far as Mingo County is concerned, you look at Mingo Central, the boys haven't been too hot this year.
Yeah.
Honestly, they're 2-16, but they're super young. They got one senior. I know Isaac Moore. He can hoop a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, he can score. He's probably the player I would most watch out for. He's probably due for a big game. And maybe it might come in sectionals. I know the Tug boys, they've been a little bit better. They're 9-10, so they're right around 500.
Mm-hmm.
Both have about 3 games left in the season. Yeah. Ethan Colgrove for Tug Valley has been an absolute monster as a freshman. I think that he is poised to maybe help Tug hang around.
Well, to me, it seems like Tug has some good wins on their record. You know, it seems like they've shown some flashes of beating anybody in that Class A over in West Virginia. You know, it seems like in that Class A, if you get hot at the right time, you can go a little bit of run. Just kind of talk about Tug chances coming up in the postseason, because right now that's what we're focused on, postseason coming up. I mean, just look at that, and it seems like they got a good group of guys with experience back as well.
They do. Caleb Blankenship, I believe is his name. He's a really good guard. He plays under control. I think he manages the game really well. I think along with Colgrove, like I said earlier, who's I think poised to make a pretty good stint in the playoffs. I think he'll help them. I think he'll help them a lot. I think those two together, though, are what could really set Tug apart, because they have, like you said earlier, they've been in a lot of close games, especially in some that probably a lot of people wouldn't have expected them to be in. So.
Now, until they get to after they get past the sectionals and into the regionals, that's when they really get into competition over there, is when they get into those regionals. But they avoid a lot of the big teams like St. Joe's and Notre Dame and all that. They would, those matchups are the ones that would come down the road. I mean, as Tug Valley, it seems like they're built for postseason play. I mean, just kind of talk about that a little bit.
And especially, I watched them play Notre Dame earlier this year, and Notre Dame had a lot of length. So getting those big boys like Easton Davis to play well and Colgrove again, I think that's a major key. It's rebounding is gonna be key for them come that time.
And just kind of talk about Mingo Central a little bit. It seems like we've talked about it before. Me and you have. They can score the ball.
Yeah,
they're young. But, what the regular season kind of does for a young team is it helps you grow up. Just kind of talk about, I know, for Mingo to do a whole lot in the playoffs over there would probably be an upset. But, I mean, they do have potential, I think.
I think they do. They got a lot of guys that, I mean, they surprise you when they play. I know the other night I went and I watched them play Wayne, and I watched this boy. I think it's his second time he scored 20 points. Wellman was his last name. Okay. And he hit the game winner. So, I mean, they've got guys that's stepping up that they didn't expect to step up. So if they can bring it all together, I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if you see them get like a first-round upset.
Yeah. Now the girls on that side with Tug and Mingo, this is a little different story for them. Both of those teams kind of struggle a little bit. Tug girls have improved, but they still got a long way to go over there. Just kind of talk about the outlook of the girls over there in Tug and Mingo.
Well, as far as Mingo goes, they're 6-14. Shooting it's streaky at best, to say the best. And I mean, probably the player that has most impressed me is probably Savannah Hinton. I think that she shows the most complete game on the team, and I think she can actually help them. Now, they do have a really good shooter, but I think Savannah Hinton is the one that's going to bring it all together for them.
Yeah, and just kind of talk about, that struggle of those two teams over there this year. It seemed like Mingo's kind of went through some things, losing some players.
They lost some players.
And just talk about how big that's hurt that team, because anytime you lose a Katie Ball and a Isaiah Rhodes, that's going to hurt your team.
And I mean, I think it did, but also I think it helped a lot of these girls mature a lot faster than what they would have expected them to. So, I mean, talking with Coach Ziggers, he seemed to think that, maybe losing those girls, it wasn't all bad.
Yeah.
Like, there was a lot of good that came out of it, too. Like, I know he told me that he had a lot of girls that were not used to being ball dominant, not used to taking some of the shots that they were taking. So, I mean, if you see them get comfortable and you see them hit a groove, I mean,
with West Virginia winding down, I mean, their postseason play usually starts a little bit before Kentucky. It seems like that season right there, it's kind of, for the girls, it's probably in their last, unless they pull some major upsets, it seems like the postseason play is coming up, and their seasons could come to an end, which there's no shame in going out and playing hard and making an early exit.
Well, and I'll tell you what, man, a lot of it goes with seeding and how they seed over there, because I know a lot of it's done with coaches, and I think the media might have some input on it. I have no idea, actually, as far as that goes, but I know that the Tug girls, they've drastically improved from last year, and I mean, they're sitting at 13-5, so definitely cannot count them out at all. Like, if they get the right seed in the sectionals, they might win 1 or 2 games.
Yeah, and and just kind of moving on, Kentucky starts next week, Wes. I mean, district action in Kentucky is a little bit different monster.
Yeah.
I mean, you saw some of the stuff with the All-A. All-A is not postseason play.
No.
I mean, there's a different level to this starting next week, and and this is when you start seeing the crowds come in. You start seeing guys pick up, teams pick up, and the play increases. I mean, postseason play is what everything's about. And if you want to start in the 54th district over there in the 14th region, on the boys' side next week, I mean, Hazard and Knott and Perry in that 54th. That's a tough thing. Hazard should be the slight favorite. Perry's kind of struggled with her record-wise, but when you got a kid like Noah Back who can score 20-plus a game, they're never out of it. So that 54th is going to be different. It's going to be, very difficult over there. But overall, that 14th region seems a little down this year. So, Hazard and Perry both seem to be alive to make runs in that region tournament over there. And, not to count Buckhorn out either. They got 19 wins on the season.
Yeah.
They could very easily, get out of that district and make a run over there. And then when you look at the girls, Hazard seems to be right there again. Perry Central has struggled this year. Buckhorn, they've struggled a little bit as well. But it seems like, after district play, and once you get into that region, it looks like Wolfe County, Knott, Powell, Breathitt, Hazard, Leslie, any of these teams could, make a run. Wolfe County wins the All-A over there, and has a good showing at state.
So is it, seeing this much parity across the region, something that's pretty common for you, or do you usually see a more dominant team in each region that is a clear favorite?
It varies year to year. And,
Right.
It's usually in that 14th region in the last few years, they've been the more dominant region. They've had the better teams. 15th this year seems to be, a little stronger overall this year. 14th has kind of struggled against some of the competition outside of the 14th region. Seems to be like Knott's young. Perry's, still trying to find a way. So, I mean, it seems a little down this year, but that parity is what makes for interesting tournaments.
All right, welcome back. We are now joined by another special guest, Trevor Thacker, who covers Paintsville basketball or Paintsville area for the Appalachian Newspapers, to talk a little bit of 15th Region boys and girls action coming up.
Yeah, the 57th district tournament kicks off next Monday.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to 57th district, everybody first thing they think of is Paintsville, Johnson Central. Trevor, just kind of talk a little bit about that 57th district down there and what people can expect of 57th district tournament on the boys' side.
Well, as you know, the Paintsville Johnson Central game, the matchup just wrapped up. Paintsville, they nipped Johnson Central at Johnson Central. Paintsville just paid a visit to Paintsville and got revenge. So that's always a huge matchup. I think everybody in Johnson County kind of turns out for that game. They roll up the sidewalks, the stores all closed. Paintsville they have depth. They're starting five. They have a lot of young talent. Seth Williams he's death from beyond the arc. I mean, when he's on, he's a leader on that team. Kobe Fugit, big lanky kid, he stepped up here in the last few weeks of the season. They have Nick Keaton, who's a big guy down low. He plays a lot bigger than what he is. His presence inside, he goes after the ball. He goes up strong with it every single time. Paintsville, they have an opportunity, as does Johnson Central, to go deep into the tournament. I know.
The real question I guess I would ask is, does Sheldon Clark and McGoffin either one have a legit chance of upsetting either Paintsville or Johnson Central in that district to make it to the region? I know Sheldon Clark's got the big kid, Trey James, but they've been down a little bit this year. They don't have the weapons around him, I guess. I mean, just your opinion. Is that an outside chance?
Well, I guess in basketball anything's possible.
Yeah.
I was at the game when Johnson Central and Sheldon Clark played. I was also in attendance when Paintsville and Sheldon Clark played. The James kid is big, and he's 6'10", so he's a big presence underneath. He's got touch around the rim, which is vital. But like you said, Randy, he doesn't have a lot of tools around him. So it is possible. Honestly, I don't see it.
Yeah.
But I know at the Paintsville game, this James is young. So for Sheldon Clark, so I know that the student body and Seth Williams, a certain couple of the Paintsville players, kind of got into his head.
As they do, Paintsville.
As they do, and they're known for that. They're really good at it. And they were just kind of talking, jawing at him a little bit, and it kind of got into his head a little bit, kind of frustrated him. He was missing some, 6-8 foot jumpers that he normally just drills. So Paintsville, Johnson Central, both, they're going to be tough.
So they should come out of there.
So they should come out of the 57th. Yeah, they should.
And just jumping over to the girls, it seems like, Johnson Central's the defending 15th champion over there. Paintsville made the run in the All-A this year. I mean, just kind of talk about, I know Sheldon Clark's got a pretty good player, but I mean, it seems like it should be a Paintsville and Johnson Central to come out of that 57th district.
Yeah, well, like you said, Johnson Central's the defending champ. They have Elena Castle and Ashley Belcher. I think Ashley Belcher, we talked about it the other day. She lit McGoffin County in for 41 points and came back. Yeah, so she can score.
Yeah.
Elena Castle is a force underneath. She can also score. Paintsville lit the world on fire at the start of the season. They went, midway through the season undefeated, and then they hit a skid there where they lost 3 or 4 in a row. They've kind of gotten back on track now. But I look for it to be, Sheldon Clark, they are. They got Paintsville a couple of weeks ago at Paintsville. They actually beat them. But, Anna Keaton for Paintsville, Swoop Williams, they're capable of putting up 25 plus every night if they're on. So I would have to probably agree. It's probably Johnson Central, Paintsville.
Yeah, kind of moving on to the 58th. I mean, that one right there is a little bit more interesting to me. You got that It's usually known as the Floyd County District, but Lawrence County's in there now. Lawrence County boys and girls this year have been throwing wrenches and everything in that district. They both, we'll start at the girls on that one. Floyd Central's girls, 24-2 on the season right now. No losses in the region. They seem to be one of the favorites in the girls to win not only their district but the region. But then you look at Lawrence County; they're sitting at 19 wins. Then you look at Petersburg; they're at 18 or 19 wins right now. And then Betsy Lane could upset any one of them. So that 58th right there on the girls' side is very interesting. The boys' side is probably not as interesting. To me, it seems probably like a Lawrence County and Petersburg thing, which Betsy Lane is not too far behind, but Floyd Central's kind of had a tough year, and I would be shocked if they, made a serious run. But, anything's possible, like we said. Then we get up to the 59th, boys and girls. It starts getting a little interesting there. Top heavy in the boys, especially with Shelby Valley and Pikeville. Right. We saw that all year with those two teams. It just seems like any given night it could be a coin toss. Whoever gets hot, if somebody can stop Cody Parter, good luck.
Man's an assassin.
Exactly. I mean,
Christian Billiter had his number though.
Christian Billiter, he gives him all he wants. So it seems that in the boys' side. And the interesting thing is they could play 2 more times. They could play in the championship of their district and the region. So that 59th is kind of top heavy there in the boys. But then you look at the girls. You got East Ridge who upset Pikeville in the 15th region. Pikeville's on a roll right now. I think they're 20-7 or something like that. Shelby Valley's playing their best basketball. And then you even got a team like Jenkins who plays everybody close. Has kept getting better. They're filled with sophomores and below. So it seems like in that one, it should be Pikeville and Shelby Valley, but you never know again. And then when we kind of go on to the 60th district, boys and girls, it seems like Pike Central's the front runners in both of them. The girls, they like to play that up-tempo style. Belfry is loaded with talent. They got big girls all over the court. It seems like they got 3 of the best bigs around and 2 really good guards to go with them, so they could beat anybody. Phelps has Danielle Prater, who scores 20-plus a game. Pierce is probably not going to do much there. But, Josh, you've got to watch some of that 60th, especially the boys' side. Kind of talk about that boys in the 60th district.
Well, I guess when you look at Belfry, you wonder who's going to be the leader on the team. Right now, as far as I've watched, it looks like Conan Fletcher.
Yeah.
I think that, he shows the most promise amongst all the players there. Avery Branham, he's pretty good. Really smooth guard, got great handles. I think he plays stellar defense 99% of the time.
Yeah. That first round matchup is going to be Phelps and Belfry. And they've played 2 close games. I think 1 point, and I think they maybe even went to overtime.
You could feel it how tense it was, in the building every time, at Belfry and at Phelps.
And I would say Pike Central's the clear favorite over there in the boys. They've been playing well, kind of under the radar. They're right there. I would say,
but they play good basketball.
Exactly. They play well. They play together. They rebound well. So that 15th region boys, we've talked about all year. It seems like there's 4 teams that really stand out: Shelby Valley, Paintsville, Pikeville, and Johnson Central. But now you got your Lawrence counties who's right there. You got Pike Central who's right there. So this 15th region tournament could get interesting. Where the girls is just wide open in my book. Yeah. So, Wes, you got any last thoughts on this?
I think the moral of the whole story is there's going to be some unbelievable basketball going on in the next couple of weeks throughout the entire region. Electric atmospheres. It's going to be worth getting out and seeing some of these games and seeing these teams on the boys and the girls side get after it. These 3 guys around me and a few others will have everything covered as comprehensively as anybody in the area, so make sure you're checking out their columns, checking out the Bank On It podcast.
Yeah, we'll have also, to go along with this podcast, we'll have a special section coming out, a postseason, where we take a look at the district plays coming up in the 54th all the way through the 60th. So, and then you'll have the 14th region and 15th region boys and girls previews as well. So, and the 60th district will be held at Phelps this year. 59th will be at East Ridge, so make sure everybody goes out and check those games out.
Yeah, lots of basketball to check out, and we've got some great interviews and highlights coming up, so make sure you stick around and check those out. want to say thank you again to our sponsors, City Tire and Auto Center, Dr. Shane Hensley at Downtown Dental, and Presbyterian Homes of Cedar Creek and Good Shepherd at Phelps. Signing day was last week, so stick around and check out some of the interviews the guys got from Belfry and U-Pike.
It's a big day for Justin. I think that's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's good for our program that the kids are moving on and have a chance to play. But I think young man that's played hard for us and had a great season and just did the things we asked him to do.
Yeah.
And when you have a kid like that and you see him develop from the time he's a young player to where he is today, he's got a chance to go play football, basically get things paid for. That's a great opportunity for young people in this area. So we're very excited for him, very proud of him that he was able to do that. I do think, I'll mention Dagan because we didn't get to talk about him, I think, the other day. But we're very proud of him, too, because he's got that preferred walk-on status at the University of Kentucky and signed a letter of commitment, to do that. And that's a big step because they just don't take anybody as a walk-on there. It's a tough thing to do. And they were impressed with him on film and feel like he's got a chance to work his way into something there. And, of course, we got one lineman there. And I think these guys go out, and when they see the kind of kids that we kind of promote here and develop here, that they're much more willing to come back and talk with us in the future and say, hey, we see what kind of players that come out of Belfry High School. So they promote our program very well because they work hard, they've got good attitudes, good work ethic, and good kids. Yeah. And when those kids go out to perform for you, then other colleges kind of hear about your program, other kids hear about it, and it makes a big difference just in the perception of Belfry High School. So we're very proud of them and what they do for us.
First of all, it's close to home, and it's the biggest football you can get. That's the closest to Belfry. So just the fact that I'm going to be close to my family and playing SEC football, it's really a dream come true. After watching this season, it just makes me want to work even harder because I know, Kentucky's a top 10 program right now, top 15, and I know what it's going to take for me to have to get out there on the field in 3-4 years. So I'm just going to go in and work. It definitely helps that Big A's down there. Me and him's probably going to be working a lot together. We'll go hand in hand because we come from the same background. But what Cash has done, and with Big A already down there, and me and a few others from Eastern Kentucky, it just shows that no matter where you're from, you can still make it on the biggest scale and show your game off like that. So it's just, it don't matter. I'm just gonna go down there and work and just show where I'm from. Give it my all, I guess. Oh yeah, this program's definitely changed me as a player. Not a lot of people know this, but I went from middle school, I was only a kicker, and I came to high school. I didn't even know if I was gonna play football, but Coach Thacker and Coach Collin, my offensive line coaches, they developed me into a great player, and the lessons I learned from Coach Haywood, he's been a great mentor, and it's things that I'll carry with me throughout my entire life and teaching my kids. And if I coach one day, use the same techniques and lessons that he taught me.
Let's just kind of talk about why Cumberland's was the fit for you.
I just went down there, and then when I went down there, it just blew me away. The campus and everything is just beautiful, and then all the coaches down there just made me feel like I was at home down there. At Belfry, we are real disciplined, and we really love what we do up here. And I feel like that's the way Cumberland's is. And I feel like I'm a good fit for their program. I had our quarterback my sophomore year went down there, and he told me he really enjoyed it down there, and he really influenced me to go down there and check it out. And I went down there and I loved it. This program is just amazing. This program will teach you to grow up real fast. It's just hard, smash mouth football. And if you ain't mentally tough enough or physically tough enough, you ain't gonna make it.
It's huge for us. The coaching staff's worked so hard on this recruiting class and trying to find the needs that we need for this football team and really evaluating where we were at the end of the season and then, hey, let's sort of address those needs. And that's the only way we're going to be able to improve as a team. And we got to continue to get better. But we really went out and pushed and tried to reach for some guys, and we got some guys that early on that we didn't think we had a chance, but we continued to fight and build relationships, and that trust and that bond that you build with young men and their families, that's what it's all about, because they got to be comfortable for the next 4 or 5 years, and because we are an extension of their family. So I mean, we made a bunch of offers to some kids in state, and there's some kids that we really got, that we feel like can come in and help us, and some local guys that can come in and make an impact and bring something to the table. We also, went out. We got kids from 8 different states this year, so we've really, broadened our recruiting window and where we want to go and where we're trying to target some guys, and with the relationships that some of our coaches have in different states, and they've done a great job creating those relationships. And this is a very talented group, and this probably in my tenure, this is the most out-of-state kids we've signed on National Signing Day. And but we really utilized our recruiting boards, evaluating kids and going down our list and seeing who fit the needs, and trying to get the best of the guys at the top of the board first before we worked our way down. And I think we got some of those guys that can make an early impact for this football program.
Yeah, and y'all kind of mentioned that you're working on your own stadium. I mean, just talk about how that added to the excitement, because that seems like maybe that's one thing lacking in this program. But knowing that's underway and in the works, just talk about that level of excitement as well today. I mean, that seemed to add to it.
It's a huge factor for us. The kids haven't really got to see anything and getting released. And, coming from our president to our student athletes and 2 people here on campus, that's huge for us. And, our board to approve that, to move forward with that is a huge stepping stone. Nothing wrong with where we play, because we're very blessed, and the city takes great care of us. And but, to have our own place to call home on a day-to-day basis is going to be huge as we continue to improve and to get better in this program. If we want to compete on a national level, we need a place to call home. But it don't only help us now, but it helps us in recruiting and being able to bring teams in to play bowl games and those things for the future of this football program, and for us to continue to build this thing.
It mostly just means a lot to me, because when I come to Phelps, Coach Jones made me one promise: he'd get me to school, get my school paid for. Now I'm here, it's done. Very exciting. Feels good. He just had such a great aspect of the game. If he didn't teach me so much, I guess I wouldn't have played or got this. So, well, when I moved to Phelps, I could tell it was really down. And just knowing that we changed the way the program was going from going downhill to up, I don't know, it feels pretty good to know you as a part of that. And me, Seth Elkins, Garrett, all of us that come, I don't know, it just meant a lot to us. And then we had Phelps all get behind us, a great community. It's the little things like that, I guess.
It's a big day, and we can't wait to go up here together and get started. We're going to start in the summer, and we can't wait to play with a new team. Yeah, we got 2 other people from Johnson Central, too, Chase and Josh. It'd be great to be able to play with them again, and we're just really excited just to start playing. Yeah, that's always been the plan, really, just to be able to stay close to home, get a degree, and just play football. So, I mean, we're glad that we had that opportunity and ready to further our football career and education. Coach Holland is getting this program turned around, and the next few years, I think that we're going to be up there and competing for championships. Yeah, they had a pretty good season last year. I think just failed due to injury a little bit. They started off really, really strong, but hopefully we'll be able to compete all 4 years for a conference championship. So. Yeah, I mean, we learned everything we know from just our coaches back home, and it shows. I mean, all of our team were just a championship. We just compete for all of them. Yeah, so I mean, yeah, Coach Manning definitely taught us how to win, and we sell for nothing less. We won our first state dual championship wrestling title a couple weekends ago, and still feels great.
It was really exciting seeing all the players that are going to be here next year, and seeing everybody. It's really exciting.
Yeah, just kind of talk about, coming into UPOC with teammate Jaden Neese. I mean, that's got to be a cool feeling knowing that, hey, I come in with somebody I know, I can bounce stuff off of him and talk to him. And just talk about that, coming in with a teammate.
Yeah, it's good to have somebody here that you know instead of having to just meet everybody when you get here. It's good to have somebody that you can talk to that you already know about.
It feels great, honestly. Playing college football has always been a dream of mine. It's a big accomplishment for me because I've only had a few people in my family, go to college and do things like this. And I've got family that goes here. I'm feeling really good about the program. It's starting to change, and I'm really ready to be on board and work my tail off and just win some games and some conference championships. Initially, I'm going to come in. I'm going to try to play running back. That's my passion. I love to run the ball. I love to tote the rock. My whole life at Prairie Central, it was an amazing ride. Great coaches, great family atmosphere over there. They've got a big future ahead of them. The program's changing over there as well. But yeah, I'm going to come over here and I'm going to work my tail off to be a running back. But if that doesn't work out, go to a different position and see if I can have success there. I just want to come and win games. Yes, sir. I'm just going to come in. I'm going to act like I've been here for years. I know being a freshman is a little overwhelming. At times it can be a little stressful as well. But you got to overcome stuff like that and just work through adversity. And that's the only way you're going to be able to earn playing time and be able to do what you want to do. So yeah, Coach Holland, they do a great job with the offense. They do the spread, and I've never really been much of a spread back. But hey, I like to explore new adventures. They've got several great backs here, guys that I'll get along with great, and I just hope to have a good time here and just work hard, just win games like I said earlier. Coach Candy taught me, and Coach Larkey too. You can't forget Coach Larkey; he's a legend, and Coach Candy a legend as well. They just taught me to be mentally tough. Mental toughness is probably the thing that I'll bring here that will stick with me for the rest of my life, actually. And they just taught me how to be mature. I just grew up a lot, and those are the two main things that I got. I just can't be more thankful for it. It was great.
It's very exciting. I'm looking forward to the next 4 years of my life, getting ready for the big day of signing. Just look forward to meeting all the guys on the team.
Yeah.
Meeting the family, I guess.
Yeah, just talk about coming in with Brandon Termeyer, teammate. I mean, that's got to be a little bit of a relief.
Oh, yeah.
Coming in with one of your buddies, a teammate. I mean, just talk about how big that is.
It's huge. I mean, just to have somebody up on the field with us, been there since my senior year, just comfortable, I guess. Someone I know, not a new face. But Coach Jones was a very influential coach. He taught us very much to keep respectful, say yes sir to everything, And just playing on the field under him was great. He expects the highest, just like they do here.
All right, thank you again to our sponsors, Dr. Shane Hensley at Downtown Dental, City Tire and Auto Center in Pikeville, and Presbyterian Homes of Cedar Creek and Good Shepherd at Phelps. Now, Kentucky basketball, maybe the biggest week of the season coming up. We got LSU tomorrow night, Tuesday night, and then the big one, number one, coming in to Rupp Arena, Tennessee.
I mean, to me, Tennessee's the game I always want to win. If I'm, as a UK fan, that's the one. And I know over the years that's not been our biggest rival in basketball, but it's still the one I always want to see them win more.
Well, and me personally, I hate seeing Tennessee good, and they're really good this year. However, Kentucky's the hottest team in the country right now. 10 straight wins. So, I mean, we've got a big test first. LSU tomorrow night. They're a good team this year. I mean, the SEC.
LSU's ranked right now. They're 16th. They got length. They're athletic. I don't know if there's, other than Duke, I don't know if there's a handful of schools out there more athletic than LSU.
Yeah, and I mean, this could determine first place in the SEC. Yeah. LSU also one loss in conference. Tennessee's undefeated. Kentucky one loss in conference. So we're going to learn a lot this week with what we're going to see on the court. Hopefully, Kentucky two home games too.
That would be both huge to win both of these. To split them would still be big for this team. I mean. But you still want to see both wins at home, especially that one over number 1 Tennessee.
Definitely. And we'll be talking a little more about that next week, as well as district and region basketball tournaments. And we want to say thank you again to our sponsors, City Tire and Auto of Pikeville, Dr. Shane Hensley at Downtown Dental, and Presbyterian Homes of Cedar Creek and Good Shepherd at Phelps. And big thanks again to the guys joining us, Trevor Thacker and Josh Blankenship, and we'll be seeing a lot more from them. Make sure you're checking out their columns, as well as Randy's in the Appalachian Newspapers for all of the local sports coverage. Thanks again for joining us. Give us a like and share on Facebook. Bank on It Podcast.